Your actions and decisions and consequences impact the world around you and your brother. I remember the first time I played this, I was like, oh, that's,
oh shit,
that's different.
Yeah. God, like, just seeing Sean's tears, just, yeah, I mean, and like, they don't get a chance to grieve, they just have to run.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess again, like, on the theme of, like, bringing Palestine into this, mental health practitioners who've worked in Palestine have often said that, you know, the experience there reveals how PTSD is a, like, Western imperialistic construct, because there is no post-trauma for the children and the human beings of any age living in Gaza and in the occupied territories, and in all of historic Palestine.
No, man. We can't stop here. We gotta keep going.
Because that trauma is just
pouting,
ongoing.
Okay?
It doesn't stop.
Come on.
But
certainly
really
for these 5 episodes, there's no space to process what they're experiencing, right?
What?
It's relentless.
Only 2.
Yeah.
Don't even try that shit.
And my back hurts from sleeping under that stupid bridge.
Yeah, so does mine. I was there too. Just knock it off. Hate it when you act like this.
Hey, when you're a child.
This is how people camp in the woods. It's not like being at home or in your room. This is a real adventure, right? So, come on. Let's hit the trail.
Ooh.
Seriously.
Oh, it's vibrating.
Oh.
Where's Dad?
Daniel, come on. We gotta go.
Why isn't Dad with us, Sean? Doesn't he want to go camping too?
Yes, but I told you that he can't. I told you. Okay?
Yeah, like, you can't. How do you explain that to a child when you haven't even been able to, like,
sick of walking.
figure out what the fuck happened to yourself? Like, I mean, he just literally, he didn't know what Daniel had even done. He just woke up.
Hey.
So.
At least we don't have to go to school on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Look, everybody's gonna be so stoked when they find out how far you walked.
Really? Really? I bet Dad would be too. Do you think we walked, like, maybe 100 miles?
Probably 200. Feels like it.
Ooh, awesome possum. But next time, Dad better get me a good pair of shoes, like yours.
Dude, a Bigfoot doesn't need good shoes.
I'd rather be a wolf. Ow! We could be wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, that works. Just work on that how. Hey, you know what? Let's see if you can walk the whole way without complaining once. Huh?
Like, you don't want to...
Daniel's like, I'm calling bullshit on that one, actually.
And he's right for that.
He is.
Tag your ass and run. You're it.
No way. Not fair.
Whatever.
Okay. I'm a zombie, and I'm gonna eat you. Blah!
And we only now get the title screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's both us discoursing and the fact that it's
been more than 2 hours and we just got the title screen, guys.
Yep. Yeah, that's so true. Daniel does know. I mean, yeah, of course Daniel knows something's up. Like,
yeah, and I mean, children are smart.
Yeah.
Right?
He knows something's wrong. He's just, and I think it's as well, like, him complaining about walking is also as much like, it's because he doesn't understand why they're walking. Like, he doesn't know why, and he knows something's happened, but he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, like, if he knew and understood like why they were walking, I imagine like he wouldn't, he's confused. Like
Yeah.
he's not just tired, like physically tired, and he just like experienced a trauma and like, but also he doesn't know what's happening. And,
Yeah.
like Sean is, like obviously Sean is traumatized too, and he doesn't know how to deal with what's going on. But like, he's just expecting Daniel to
Go along with it, yeah. I think it's like Sean negotiating how to be an authority figure in a child's life as well. Like he hasn't ever had to do that before. Like, and
yeah.
that's a learning process. That's like hard to realize that like stuff you say they're not gonna follow. They're not just gonna take it.
Yeah, and I think again, like in terms of making connections, like not only is there the fact that like right now people being displaced from like within and from Gaza have had to walk for like hours and hours and days, but also that like many of them have lost family members. Some children are the only surviving members of their family.
Yeah.
You know what? You're not allowed to say that.
So this
Ever again.
Yes, sir.
kind of experience is like
You'll be the first one to know when we get there, okay?
similar to what they must be going through.
I'm tired and
Like
hungry
physical
too.
exhaustion, tired, hungry, thirsty, like
Listen,
they don't know if
This
they're
looks like a
gonna be
perfect
able to
place
find
to
a
camp
place
out.
where they're safe, and then also they've lost family
I bet
members.
we're
They
not
have
the
no
first
time to
people to
process
stay
that. They
there.
have to take care of each other, and they have to figure things
It's
out.
creepy.
Like,
Yeah.
There's nobody out here. We didn't even see any cars.
we're gonna camp here. I'll look out for you.
And disabled from the bombardment, absolutely.
yeah,
And I mean, there were already people with existing disabilities, like pre-October the 7th, right?
yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, I feel like pretty much everyone will be because
Ooh,
of the trauma,
look.
but like, yeah, physical as well as mental disabilities.
Yeah.
Man, it's so dirty.
So I don't know. I think something to think about certainly for this game, and
I
as
see
we experience
something.
this game together, is like how this
What
maps
is that?
onto what people are experiencing right now. Like
Yeah.
in Gaza on like a scale like I can't even imagine. Like thousands and thousands and thousands of people are experiencing this.
Yeah. Okay. Do we check out the car?
Yeah, why not? It's also tutorialing us.
What do you find?
Check it out. There's a chunky Choco Crisp bar.
Not the
on
Choco Crisp.
dashboard.
Yeah, I see it.
You know I love Choco Crisp bars. I haven't had
He just
one
wants a
in
little
million
treat.
years.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
right.
starving.
More like 2 days
You can
ago.
steal a chocolate
Come on.
bar.
Yeah.
It's literally
Can we
fine.
please get one when we stop next, please?
We can take one now. Is that an option?
Let's take this one. Nobody's gonna miss one single Choco Crisp bar.
Really? I would.
This
He
is for a
would.
good cause.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Almost. I got it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Boom. Choco Crisp is ours. Now we have dessert.
I don't think I did let him
Let's beat it.
last time.
Oh, really?
I think,
Okay.
and this is
I
something he'll
hope
probably
nobody gets mad. when
talk
we
about
get Choco
more.
Crisp.
But I think I was very much thinking longer term in terms of like, I don't want them to have excuses for further criminalization, I think, down the line.
Mm.
And I was also like, I want to teach Daniel good values. Whatever that means,
Yeah, I think my argument is that, like, if you're starving and homeless and on the run, I don't think there's anything wrong with stealing a chocolate
Absolutely.
bar.
I think now, having played it, I'm like, obviously, this child should have a fucking chocolate bar. But I think in the moment, I was very fearful of any kind of consequence, the actions that will have the consequences. And I think
That's the name of the game.
it is the name of the
I
game.
mean, it's not the name of the game, but it's the tagline of
Yeah.
the game.
And I think that's what was influencing a lot of those decisions. And basically, I was worried they'd get caught, essentially. And I think
Yeah.
But equally, I think I was not necessarily empathizing with them in that moment of like, they are so fucking hungry right now. They have not eaten properly in 2 days. Like, and I think it's like I'm divorced from the actual material reality of that situation because I'm not physically there. And I think that's where my mindset was with that. And I think there's a lot of times throughout my first playthrough of this where that theme reoccurred of me being like, I just want to preserve them, I want them to be okay, and I want their safety, but it might be at the consequences of hunger and actual care and things like that, which is what my instincts led me to. But I think that's very interesting in terms of like
people on Earth.
Come on.
I think it is
We're just
also
hiking in the
racialized,
forest.
right? It's like that thing
It's
of like
good to
me
get
going,
away.
well, in my head as a
Oh,
white
shit.
woman, I know stealing bad, you know, stealing bad, but also I was like, I don't know their experience, I don't know what it feels like, and I want to prioritize their safety above all else.
It's interesting that, thank you for sharing that, because I think that there's some interesting considerations there, right? Like, the first one is like, if you don't know what it is like to be like violently displaced from your home and then not have like water and food for days, then like the physical experience of that is not something that you know.
Yeah,
like sure. It's simply you can't imagine it if you haven't experienced it, right? And like,
hey,
but it's interesting thinking about how
was it so that Daniel doesn't run off.
yeah, it's interrupted me rudely.
Yeah,
how dare he? Like how, I guess, like in terms of like criminalization, because the question of whether or not doing more criminal activity actually exposes them to more danger or not is worth considering.
Yeah.
Because there's the fact that, and to be clear, like criminality and criminal, like that is not a moral term for me. It's just a literal term in terms of what is illegal and doing what is criminal as in what is illegal. That has no moral implication for me. So it's not a negative or a moral judgment. Like the way that they are criminalized, that they continue to be criminalized, like as young racialized men. There's almost a sense in which they can't do any right. Yeah. And that criminalization and that dehumanization is an inevitability no matter how they act. And there's an element of how racialized people will often feel the need to behave in a certain way and follow the rules, because if you follow the rules and you behave in a certain way, then you'll be safe, right? But you're like walking on a razor's edge all the time.
And also we know that doesn't safety is not guaranteed. And it's not guaranteed by you following the rules.
Objectively not true, right? So for example, like again, to bring it back to like our parallels, like in the context of Palestine, like people will be like, why are these people, like I can sympathize with their position, but like it's wrong to, like take up arms and like violently resist Israeli occupation. Like there's a right way to do this, right? But, if they non-violently protest, like if they, the Great March of Return, which is Palestinians basically like non-violently just trying to walk back to their homes that they were displaced from, like that was wrong and they got shot down and people said like that they shouldn't have done that. BDS is a non-violent tactic. It's like a campaign for boycotting. There's nothing violent about boycotting, and they're constantly told that they're terrorists and anti-Semitic and in the wrong for doing that. So literally like any way in which Palestinians resist the violent conditions that they live under is going to be viewed as violent. There's like there's no right way to resist. Yeah. And then there's also the fact that like if you don't understand like what it is like to live under those material conditions, which I don't.
No.
Like, it's beyond my imagination to live in those kind of violent material conditions. Like, who are you to pass moral judgment on how, like, people living in that situation resist?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that, like, the parallel here is right. I've never experienced anything like this before, and it's not for me to pass moral judgment on how they survive and navigate the situation. But also, as young racialized men, like, they can do no right.
Yeah,
like,
and I think that's also part of it as well, because as a white woman, there is frequently a way I can do things right? That the like there is a rule book that I can follow, and I'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, if I were in their situation, like, my first thing would be like, well, I'll just explain what happened, and, you know, like, I'll just explain what happened to the police, and they'll have, you know, hopefully they'll believe me, you know. That was never an option for them, and that's, I think, my instincts in terms of, like, what would happen to me in that situation. I have a rule book I could follow, and I know there is a, maybe not guaranteed 100% safety, but even if they don't believe me, I have parents who can help me out. I have people around me. Like, I have community. I have, you know, and there's also a certain amount of, like, if this got televised, people would probably believe what I have to say. Like, all of these things, like, my position is so different. And, like, just because I would do something differently doesn't mean that they should. And I think that's what I was very much trying to unpack when playing this the first time, and still now, is that my instincts, because I very much went with, like, instinct when I last played this, were not, like, rooted in a material reality for them. Yeah. They were rooted in my material reality. Which, I think will come up a lot, obviously. Because,
for sure. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, there's a way in which that's, like, a natural and human reaction that I think it's so important to, like...
100%.
Like, confront that.
And I think this game forces you to confront things to a certain point, and I think it does make you dismantle those assumptions and those instincts that you have through, I mean, as I think, Lost and Fairy said, like, the major theme of this game is respectability politics won't save you. Like, the police don't treat them any differently, regardless of what choices you make. Like, this game is deconstructing those assumptions and those, I guess the kind of idealistic thoughts that me and other white people have about how the justice system is there for us. You know, it's like, it's actually breaking them down, because it's like, well, no, at no point was the justice system there for them.
I've seen so many white people play this game and be like, why don't they just talk to the police and explain?
Which is, again, like, what I would do in that situation. And I can rest on that in a way that they never could. Yeah, exactly. In a way you probably never could. Like, it
I mean, like, in the sense that if something like this did happen to me, I would also be fucked.
Yeah,
like I would. Like,
and it's the, like, faith that I would be believed that is such a, like, it is what sets me apart so much from their experience. And yes, this is a game where you experience a certain amount of, like, you navigate empathy, right? Like, you navigate empathy for Sean, you play from his perspective, you know, you help him make his decisions, you do these things, but, like, there's still a reality, a material reality that I will never understand and never be a part of. You know, I will never experience it like that. And if I ever did, there are so many safety nets in place for me in a way that there just aren't for them. And even just age as well, because they are children. There is, like, so little they can do. Like, if, like, being able to, like, you could probably, if this happened, like, find out a way to get, like, a fake passport or something and get a job under a different name, or, like, you know, there are ways you could possibly escape this as an adult that you could not as a child. Like, you just can't.
I do feel awkward as a white person making some of these choices, because I really don't have a right to tell Sean and Daniel what they should do. Essentially, or make judgments, and it feels like making choices in this game is doing that.
That's true.
It's an interesting point. Yeah, I mean, I think that there is something to unpack about like the implications, not just like of the text itself, but obviously of like who plays the game and how the game takes on meaning depending on who's playing it and how they're interacting with it. So like it has meaning when a white person plays this game and makes decisions on behalf of them.
Yeah.
In the way that you're describing, right? Like that gives it a particular meaning, and the meaning that you're interpreting of like it means that you as a white person are making a judgment in some way, shape or form about what they should or should not do in this situation. I think that's like a really, to be honest, like astute reflection.
Definitely. I think it works well in terms of like me playing this game. It forced me. It wasn't even like I chose to unpack those things. The game forces you to reflect and unpack to an extent, but I also think people can probably still play this game and not get that.
So you have to be like that way inclined. Some people
this
their
is
mind
it. Like,
not open,
especially the people who played Life is Strange 1 and loved the gay girls and haven't really kind of, I guess, interrogated anything beyond that.
Yeah, because they want to play a game about like white gay girls, but then like a game that makes them maybe like interrogate their own racism like isn't. They don't want to do that. It makes them too uncomfortable, right? Yeah, and I mean ultimately, like I think this is the best Life is Strange game, like quality wise. Yeah. But I would not say that it's going to ever be a comforting. I mean, it's not going to be a comforting experience for anyone, right? But like, there's an element to how the first game can be comforting. This cannot be. Believe me, they do. Yeah, they really do. I mean, it's a really good point because, like, I mean, it really speaks to like an issue that we are confronted with all the time, but like especially now, like in the context of what's been happening in Palestine and how people have been responding to that like so many white people, when push comes to shove, like their comfort is the most important thing. Their comfort is their priority, always, always, always. And obviously, like, well, not obviously, from a white perspective, like working on being able to sit in discomfort and having your comfort not only disturbed but even like wrestled out from beneath you is really important. And it's like a small and short term of what like the long term of actually dismantling racism would look like. Yeah. Because like if you can't deal with like a little discomfort now, like you can't play a game that makes you maybe think that you might have some internalized racism, then like in the long run, like when we have a revolution and dismantle racism, like what are you gonna do? Yeah. What
role will you play? You know?
Like you will not survive that. No. Like being completely blunt, like you will not survive that. No. Like if your mind isn't open to that. I saw lots of people who were white saying they didn't like the game because they didn't relate to the characters. Like, I could say so much about, like, relatability as a metric to, like, important art. Yeah. But, like, sometimes art should make you uncomfortable. It should make you question things.
And sometimes protagonists shouldn't be relatable.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's fine. Like, not everything. Not everything is about you. Yep. I think some of are uncomfortable because they don't want to be blamed or feel guilty. Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's like protecting their comfort first and foremost. It's always about that.
I saw, like, because obviously I won't say the name of the game, but I think we all know the game that it has a TV adaptation that they've done a first season and they're casting a second. Someone was talking about like how like if this game should be remade or like made into a TV show or a film in that style, and I think that was such an interesting, I mean, like looking at the comments of that, people being like, oh my god, yeah, this person should be cast, blah blah blah, and I was like, the whole point of this fucking game is to force you to make choices that are not comfortable. And we all know that if a studio made this game, they would either erase the harder decisions or they would choose the path of least resistance, right? They would go the moral, lawful route, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think you're absolutely right, and I would be really afraid of what like a non video game version of the story would choose to kind of like solidify as its canon. I would be really afraid of that.
I don't want to see it.
I
simply don't.
I would be really scared of that. And then I also think that there's such a difference between like sitting on your couch and like watching brown people suffer and being like, I'm such a good person and I'm such a critical thinker because I watched this show about racism and versus like being put in the position where you have to make the choices.
Yeah. And I think that having to make the choices is why this story works.
Yeah.
And without that, you cannot engage. Like, it needs to be a game because engaging with it in this way is the only way that you are forced to learn, basically.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I agree. I do agree. I've seen women talk about how it's annoying when men dismiss media for girls like Jennifer's Body, but they don't relate to it because they don't relate to it, as in the men don't relate. And I feel like that's true for white people with stories about racialized people. Yeah, that's totally, it is true. Facts. Correct. But I mean, white women be white womening.
Sean, it's getting dark.
I don't know, I guess they missed that car.
The owners come after us for the chocolate crisps. And they're hunters.
You're too little to hunt. We're cool.
Listen, for all intents and purposes and liability, I'm going to say now that this is a joke.
Okay.
Do with that what you will.
Where are we going here?
But I think they should get a gun.
Okay.
I just think that would solve a lot of the problems.
It's like the fucking Chloe just bringing out the gun. I mean... Just like, I got a gun.
When we played Life is Strange, I said, and I stand by it, that I supported arming women.
Armed resistance girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just... Anyway, do with that what you will.
Fair.
What does Chloe say? Yeah, I believe in gun control. I believe the women should control the guns.
Damn, she girl bossed with that one. Not gonna lie.
I believe the brown people should control the guns.
It's way too cold for your skinny butt.
Okay.
Okay. Let me look at this poster. Let me look at the poster.
There must have been a big ass storm.
Ooh, landslide.
Not a storm.
Doesn't sound good.
A lot of agreement in the chat.
Should be funny.
There are those movies now that are interactive, but I don't know. Yeah, I
oh
think
god.
it's true, but I don't, in my opinion, from what I have experienced of like interactive movies, I don't think that they do a very effective job of creating like a sense of like involvement.
No, it is a series of, I mean, so there's this one on Netflix called Choose Love, which is horrendous.
Choose Love.
It's horrendous. The only saving grace is that Evian Yogia, who was in Victorious, he's that actor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is in it, and he's hot. But, like...
He is hot, it's true.
Also, I think he's a little gender spicy.
Oh,
He definitely uses he pronouns, but, like...
Love that.
Yeah, we love that. But yeah, that's the only saving grace of it. But it is so contrived, you know?
Yeah, I just think that the mechanics are like not there.
They're not there at all. And I think it's like, I also don't think that really counts as a film or a TV show. Like, I feel like it's somewhere in between. I don't think it is.
Hello.
Hello, Saf.
Hello, Sapphire.
She's got thoughts.
Saf is one of Charlotte's cats.
Yeah. She's hanging out. She's come to say hi.
Hello.
Come to sniff your chair. There you go. She may make an appearance. It's hard to tell.
I don't necessarily think it's
Come on,
useful to
Daniel.
think about like
The sun is
things
going
in
down.
binaries in terms of like TV versus games.
Mm.
But I think that like if you want to create like stories in an interactive medium, then I think you should think about that
Beck, yeah.
in the context of like
Sean?
not
Lots of Mary's like,
Look how big
ooh,
these trees
gender.
there,
That's only because they
Um,
need the sun.
not in the
Besides,
context of
they'll
like I'm
protect
gonna
us
make a
from the rain.
TV show and then
What
make
if
it
they
like
What if they...
like a choose your own adventure, but
Yeah.
but for
Attack us.
TV.
Yeah. And that's where some of my video essay will come in.
Ooh.
Yeah, you watched Lord of the Rings with Dad like 100 times. Here's your chance
What
to
was
go
the
on a
other
real
cultural
adventure
reference?
with
Oh my god, I literally just read it and it's already left my brain.
So
Mr.
I'm like
Minecraft. There we
Oh,
go.
Fiona?
okay.
And you're Sam?
well,
Kind of hot. Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
thinking more like
this is my
Aragorn.
lesbian stamp
You
of
know,
approval
brave,
of
strong,
Evangelion.
good-looking.
He is
Daniel.
approved.
Check out this mark on the tree.
Just like Esteban.
What is that?
Peace be upon him.
Oh,
Not exactly.
sorry, I shouldn't
All
laugh.
playable.
It's not funny,
And
but
people
like,
used to put them up to give directions.
Like GPS?
Has my lesbian stamp of approval as a hot dad.
Yeah, sure. Just slightly more.
Objectively a hot dad.
Awesome.
yeah.
Let's follow it.
But yeah, so in
Whoa.
Choose Love, he like
Hi,
That
Sparksby.
place is huge.
in Choose Love, he's like
Yeah.
this
It's
like
kind of cool.
rock star guy, and it's so like he's like wearing loads of ring. It's
Where
very
are we going?
he's looking
Yeah.
very like
Well,
queer.
it must be a
Yeah.
bit further.
Good.
I was here.
Let's
for
take
it.
a look around.
That was the only reason we chose. Like me and
I
my friend
can't tell
played
you the
him,
truth
and I was
now.
like, "No, we're choosing
I
him."
just can't.
She was like, "I don't even know if I like his character." I was like, "I don't care. I like
He's
him.
hot.
He's hot."
Video essays. Did you know that we make
Fun.
video
I
essays?
found
Hi.
berries. Can I taste
We also have one
please?
on this game that Sara made.
We sure do have a video
Wait.
essay on this game.
Oh wait.
Hold on. I'm
Yeah,
coming.
we are not 100% sure about those berries. We should check them. Yeah, we do have a video essay where I talk about the game
There
that
it is.
shall not be
ahead.
named, which is my video essay, Sit in Judgment, and representations of justice in games. So basically, I just talk about like how games represent like justice and morality in the context of like you know, like our carceral system, and that how our culture normalizes this carceral idea of justice, that like person do bad, person deserve punishment, and that's the video essay where I explore that. And there's a bit where I talk about the game that shall not be named and how much I hate it and how racist it is.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I'll leave that. To
Oh,
the
that's very sweet, Megstar. I am really glad that so many people felt that my essay on Life is Strange 2 made them like feel like affirmed, because God, there's some shitty
Not that desperate.
Shitty takes out there.
shitty takes out there.
This is stupid.
Oh, thank you, Faye. That's really sweet of you to promote our work in your streams.
Very kind.
Fucking cell phone.
Yeah, no, these are red.
Only Google those.
Those are red. We're not eating those. Like, I know very little. I know
Fun.
that. Don't eat red berries in the wild. Don't do it.
Okay, that's good to know because I didn't know that.
Basically, so animals avoid the color red in like berries and stuff because they are probably poisonous. So if they are red or orange, don't.
Don't eat them. Wow.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Picnic and hiking site. Well, I bet nobody
It's
comes out
like
here to picnic
mushrooms
anymore.
as well. Like obviously non-red
Well, that's good for us.
mushrooms also can also be poisonous, but like generally as a rule of thumb, if it's
Can't be.
red, don't do it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Don't
that makes
worry.
sense.
We've
Nobody's
cultivated
gonna find
specific
us
red
out.
plants that you can have. Otherwise,
Do
don't
not
fuck with it.
feed or disturb the
I
animals.
really think that God popped off
Kind of like
Where's this
bears
going?
when he was like, I'm
Coyotes?
gonna color code
Or-
the plants.
Yeah, no, you know what?
So that the humans don't eat the ones that have a danger sign
Yeah.
on them.
More like squirrels, rabbits, critters. Just don't bug them and they won't bug us. They're way more scared of us.
Then we
than
went and
are.
color coded all the best sweets
Unless
as
they're
red. So
angry.
true.
It's because some of us love
We're
danger.
hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Also
Go figure
strawberries.
yourself out.
Mm.
Let's go.
Yeah, all the essays were like, it's too political, boo. I mean, what I have to say to them is boo.
It's grow the fuck up.
Grow the
Sean,
fuck up.
guys.
So true. Because,
Unless
like,
it's-
I mean,
No,
I don't know
no,
how many
it's-
times I have to say that
right.
everything is
I guess.
political.
I don't
For
like
people
it
to
yet.
listen.
I know.
Just
But-
one day.
Do
I
you,
found some
like,
here.
you know how often, like, well-meaning people
Can I
will
taste
say
one,
that as
please?
well? Like, for example, like, in the current context,
Not these ones.
you're,
Come on.
thank
I'm
you for
starving.
taking on the
No.
berry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
kid,
I was suddenly
come.
like, oh my
You
god,
gotta
wait, no,
listen
he's
to
trying
me.
to eat this fucking berry.
Charlotte's got protective older sibling mode
I
on,
really
and
have.
I'm just talking shit. I'm glad
It's
there's two
literally
of us
like,
here.
you know when you see like mums like, I don't know, just like their kid will be doing something and they like yank them back just instinctively, like that's me at all times. I was just like, he's asking me a question, the answer, and he's near the berries, the answer is no. Like,
Well,
absolutely
it's
not.
So good that two of us are here. No, I was gonna say that, like, for example, like in the current moment, like I see so many people who are talking about Palestine for the first time, and like I try to be patient because I've been talking about Palestine for years, so I know I'm like ahead of the game. But like,
We don't have much.
and they will say,
This
like,
is better than nothing.
this isn't a political issue, this is a humanitarian issue, and like they mean well, but I am begging you, if you are someone who says that and you're listening, I know you mean well, I am begging you not to say that anymore, because it is political.
Yeah.
The framing of Palestine as simply a humanitarian issue is part of the problem. Like, the reason why Palestinians are experiencing this is because they live in a political situation which exposes them to this kind of daily settler colonial violence, and this is obviously a very extreme moment of it. It is a political issue because politicians of governments around the world are complicit in creating the settler colonial state that creates the situation of violence for Palestinians. The solution has to be political.
Yeah. But also, literally everything is political. Like, not taking a stance is political. Like,
Culture is political. Relationships are
like,
political.
trying to act like you can live a life free of politics is just stupid.
No,
it's
because you
naive.
live
It's
exactly,
nonsense.
because you live in a context, don't you?
You live in a society.
Yeah, so literally everything is political. But yeah, just for the record, don't say that Palestine is not political and it's humanitarian. Bad.
Bad.
But also don't say that
That's
about
why I can hide.
anything.
Yeah.
And don't
I'm political and so's my wife.
Exactly.
Two.
I don't know why political stuff is seen as negative. It's an interesting point.
It's a way to not engage
One,
with
two.
what's happening. Because
Yeah, 100%.
people can say it's a politeness thing, right? It's like a respectability politics thing again. It's like if you're not perceived to making things political is pointing out injustice, is being difficult, is
Yeah.
being ungovernable, right?
Be ungovernable.
Be ungovernable. But it's like if you live a life free of politics, you don't have to engage with like anyone's experience beyond your own, and that is easier,
Yeah.
supposedly. Which I don't think it is easier. I don't believe that, but
Yeah, 100%.
it is perceived to be easier.
Yeah, it's a tactic to silence people.
Yeah.
Basically, and 100%.
Like,
everything
oh,
that
we're
you
not
said.
doing politics at the dinner table. Oh, we're not doing this. Oh, we're not doing that. It's like,
And I always find that really wild because people want to separate their politics from their personal relationships. They're like, oh, like I really like this person, but we can't talk about politics. Like, babe,
you don't like that person. You don't like them.
someone's value system is informed by their politics.
Yeah. Like,
Like your values, your moral values as a human being are political.
Yeah. Even if you like chocolate ice cream or not, which I know is the thing people always come out with. It's like, well, you can disagree on disliking chocolate. And I'm like, look, no, you can't.
That's a political
That's
issue.
a political issue.
I mean, chocolate is a political...
Exactly. Chocolate is a political issue.
Here's your example of how everything is political, right? Chocolate. Delicious. That's a good time. Who doesn't like chocolate? Do you know how chocolate gets made?
Slavery.
Do you know how chocolate came to Europe?
Slavery.
Colonization. Like...
Yeah. It's not... None of this is devoid of politics. It's like, you know the bit in Devil Wears Prada?
What a movie.
Where Andy's like, ugh, they're both the same blue. And then Meryl Streep does like the incredible monologue, the iconic monologue about how like everything in like fashion is important because everything has been like everything is a choice that has been made by someone that symbolizes something, and pretending that you don't like saying that you don't engage with fashion is not possible because you wear clothes. Like you have to make choices about what you wear, and someone has also made those choices for the thing to be available for what you wear. Like fashion is also a political issue as much as anything is. It's like nothing you do is devoid of context. Like you just it's whether you know the context or not.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna like get into Marxist theory on this, but like basic commodity fetishism, right?
Yeah.
Commodity fetishism basically meaning how we see like a commodity, like a chocolate bar or a piece of fashion, like a dress or something, and you see it as an object to buy, a commodity, and that's it. Like you just see it as an object, because like fetishism means to objectify something, right? And a commodity is something you buy.
To remove it from its context.
Yeah, so you only see it as an object, you remove it from its context. So the context of like how it was created, how it like is sold, like how it's, all of these things are completely removed. So when you buy a dress, you're not thinking about like the working conditions of the people who created that dress. You're not thinking about the effects of the production of fast fashion on the environment, like etc. So yeah.
Saf's come to weigh in.
Oh,
you got a baby.
She's on my lap.
Hi,
you guys
Saf.
can't see her, but she's on my lap.
I don't want to move her because she'll jump away, but she may come onto the desk at some point.
God, what a movie. Love for The Devil Wears Prada.
Honestly, iconic.
I don't understand how people have partners and friends who have different morals. Literally, like, I don't...
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
political.
anyone I spend any amount of time with and choose to spend any amount of time with, it's because I know that if I have these conversations with them, even if we don't agree, they will come round to my thinking. And that sounds like weird, but like, so for instance, I have a friend who I didn't even realize that I'd done this. Like, I literally I don't think I even picked up on it at the time, but she said to me once, like, do you know you actually changed my opinion on trans people? And I was like, what? Huh?
Aww.
You ever didn't? What? You know, like, I didn't, but I think basically I think she'd said something broadly, and I like about trans people, and she was like, oh, you know, but it was like she wasn't against trans people's existence or rights, but she was like, do that, you know, are trans women basically was the question she asked. And I was instantly like, what makes you a woman? Like, flippantly didn't even think about it. And she was like,
that
shit.
Really changed my perspective.
Yeah, but she
That's
said to me
good.
like, it was you saying that, which I didn't even consider anything. I was just like, that wasn't even a conversation for me. No, it wasn't even like valid. I don't even know. I don't think her opinion was not informed. Her opinion was not like, you know, it was literally just kind of that initial question of like,
what makes you a woman? I
Yeah.
think it's a powerful question.
yeah.
It's a powerful
And I was like,
question.
is everything, because obviously then also people often respond with like, oh, having a period or childbirth or some bullshit, and it's like, okay, great, so pain makes you a woman. That's not that's not how I feel about my womanhood. I don't know about you guys, but like, it's not a question I can answer easily.
No.
And that's the fact that it's not a question you can answer easily shows that gender is not a binary that exists other than our societal perceptions. Like, I don't inherently feel like these like particular biological determinants make me a woman. I just am.
Yeah.
I don't even really need to think that deeply about it. Like, I know what I am. I know I'm me. So, and my gender expression might look different to other people's, but like, yeah, and also, yeah, exactly. But some biological women can't have periods or have children. Like, that's a pretty common thing. Like, it's, yeah, it's a conversation that, like, I've had a lot, but I think I am obviously just so used to making those arguments that I don't even think about it. And without even trying, this person that I love and care for and spend time with, her opinion was changed.
Yeah.
And had she then gone, oh, wait, no, and then we started having a debate about it, obviously we would have had some problems.
Maybe no longer friends.
Yeah, but the fact that she listened to what I had to say, she heard my point, it made her think about things she hadn't thought about before. Like, that's friendship, that's relationships, that happens all the time. Not everyone is born having the, like, right opinion, quote unquote. But
no,
like,
I mean, we all are propagandized.
Yeah, 100%. But it's about being able to have those conversations with people and for them to respect your opinion enough to probably end up agreeing with you. Basically.
Yeah.
Like, in some way. And I think it's also, like, obviously, like, I don't think every opinion I've ever had ever has been correct. But, like, for the most part, if I don't know something, or if someone challenges me on something, I will look it up. I'll go away and do my little tippy-tappy research and go on Wikipedia and be researching and gathering information. And, like, this is a huge reason I don't talk to most people I met on my degree. Yeah, I feel you with that. I did a film degree, so go figure. But yeah, like, and I think as well, like, families, obviously it is more complicated. I mean, I have complicated family situations, and like, it is not an easy thing to contend with, but I think broadly the people that you can choose in your life, your friends, your partners, etc., like, they should at least at a baseline agree with you.
Megan donated.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Megan, for donating.
Hashtag free
generous.
Palestine.
Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. Sorry, that was a whole
Can
tangent.
I get a free Palestine?
Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera just a little bit, just so you can see her little furry butt. Okay, right.
3,
Sorry.
Play hide and seek.
Full
5,
tangent there.
It was a good tangent.
6,
Good, thank you.
7, 8, 9.
I mean, yeah, actually, to do with parents, like, I have
I'm coming.
hashtag influenced my parents, like, more than I think I have. Like, I forget. And then they'll say something and I'll be like, damn, you've come a long way, you know?
My parents are still pretty fucking weird, but I think that my mother would probably still be a lot more homophobic if not for me.
Now.
So.
Where
Yeah.
could Daniel be?
I mean, I taught my dad about pronouns.
Yeah,
And
this is way too far.
there's
Daniel's
someone in
hiding
his,
back
like,
there.
photography group who uses they, them pronouns. And he's constantly messing up because he's a middle-aged white man. But, like,
I think you can keep an eye out for him peeking out from behind a tree.
Thanks.
Knowing Daniel, he shouldn't be hard to find.
Wow, right.
Yeah, I remember that he, like, peeks out.
Goofy little guy. But yeah, he got annoyed with me once because I was, like, correcting him every time he messed up. And it's also because, you know, it's a pride thing, right? Like, your kid telling you you're wrong about stuff, like, he doesn't do well with
Seriously.
that, as many dads probably don't. But,
What
like,
is he?
the fact, and I said to him, like, I'm reinforcing it because it's the correct thing to do. It's not because I'm angry at you or because I'm blaming you for living in a world where, like, people's pronouns are not respected. Like, you can't help that, but the things you can help are getting it right in the moment, and my work here is to remind you every time you mess up,
What if I
because
don't find you?
one day you might not. Sorry, what?
So because it's taking you, like, a while to find him, Sean is getting, like, worried that
Oh,
he's lost him.
no! I don't even know, like, I know there's so many trees and I can't find him.
It's okay,
I'm
you'll
getting
find
worried.
him.
I'm getting my older sibling energy is just like, oh god, oh god.
Dumb idea.
Oh no.
You can call him, apparently.
Oh. Can I? How? I don't know.
I swear it's on the left side. Says Megstar.
Left. So is it up in the picnic area, or is it like... Oh, to stop looking for Daniel. Hold.
Oh, like if you want to give up.
Oh, I see. No, I'll keep trying. I'm just going to try and get it right.
That's okay, don't worry about it. We'll figure out how to call him. But thank you for the help.
Thank you. Yeah, this is my problem. I get distracted and then we lose Daniel. Like...
That's okay, you were doing a good big sibling
Thanks.
job.
Thank
when
you for
were
referring.
protecting him from the deadly
The
berries.
deadly berries. Although, you know, we may have ended up still eating the wrong ones. I don't know. I just knew that red is bad.
That's okay, we know it doesn't kill him, so...
True. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Is it back this way?
Maybe, I don't think he's gone, like, far.
No, I've just looked around all the trees and I can't
Maybe
see
just
him.
further down this way.
As in this, yeah, this direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
There he is.
Hey! Thank God for that.
You almost didn't find me.
Yeah, we're in a giant forest.
The best hiding spot.
Cool. Okay. Anyway.
Dad always knew exactly where to go. He was a living compass.
That was a pretty good hiding spot.
I think after the forest section, maybe we should take a little break.
Yeah, I agree.
I could do with something to munch on.
Yeah, I think it's snacky time. Oh.
Got my leftover Chipotle.
I have no idea.
I have
where we
leftover
are.
Chipotle.
What am I
Slay.
doing?
We've been asked to hydrate. Can I have the Xbox glass?
You may. I haven't sipped out of it yet, so all yours.
Oh,
Sippy sip. I mean, it's literally. I haven't drank anything. It's fine. I've still got some, so you don't need to do that. It's all good.
yeah, but if you want to top up.
I'm fine.
I'm also morally opposed to drinking out of the Xbox.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough. No, that I can respect. We've all got to have a stance, you know. And we've been asked to stretch. Ooh, we got a follow.
Oh, we got to follow. Thank you, Doggo.
Doggy Lasticot?
Lasticot. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay, yeah, stretching is a good idea. Sean, do you want to stretch with us?
Yeah.
Where's the stretch button?
I'm sorry if you're gonna hear my wrist clicking. I broke it once and it clicks like a scary amount. So, like it just.
I can't hear that.
Can you not?
No, but I also got chunky headphones on.
Ah, that's true. Yeah, I've got a little scar.
Is that from like a wrist break?
Yeah, so I had an operation. Back in 2020, don't get an operation in the middle of a pandemic, everyone.
Oh dear.
It's not the vibe. It would never have been the vibe, but it really wasn't the vibe in that particular instance. Right, I think we can go this way now.
Sara hasn't actually heard a single word you've said in the last 3 hours. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. I've just
Daniel, come check this out.
Been vibing.
What?
vibing. I didn't actually listen to you.
Be quiet. We'll take
Have
off.
I told you about my obsession with raccoons?
Raccoon.
No.
I love raccoons,
Raccoons
but
are great.
I've never seen one in person, and I'm desperate
That
one
raccoon will
day
tear us
to see
apart.
one.
to see one in
Let's
person.
go,
They
bro.
are so cute.
But like, obviously, they are not native to the UK.
They sure
They sure are not. So I was like looking up what zoos have them, and there's only like a zoo. The only zoo in like the near kind of vicinity is a zoo in Kent, and I was like, I'm not going to Kent on
That
principle,
raccoon
so
must be starving.
it's not
Raccoons are
happening.
way smarter than us.
So maybe next time I
They'll
go
find
to
more
like
food.
the North TM
Why is he saying "Hey kitty kitty" to the raccoon?
because he thinks it's a cat. I
What if
think.
the raccoon came with us?
He knows it's a raccoon.
He could be our pet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man.
He's a
Yeah,
9-year-old.
raccoon,
Raccoons are
raccoon,
not a pet.
raccoon. It doesn't have the same
You ever
ring
see
to
the
it.
I mean, you don't want to shorten that. Let's put it that way.
Until you run out of food.
So.
Let it go.
Du-du-du-du-du-du.
He's just a little guy. They're just so round. Saf is basically a raccoon.
Yeah, she is. She's black and white and brown.
And round. And so round. Look at his little dance. Hi, Saf. Oh, there was a firework. Oh, poor baby, it's okay.
Hey,
Miss
there's another one here.
Fire.
That showed me how to read these.
I was so confused before I remembered you live in the UK. Yeah,
Ooh, I
unfortunately,
bet the
we
ants
do.
are out here.
Yeah.
we're in a bad place.
Soz.
I don't
Not
think ants
mentally.
can move those rocks.
Just
The ants.
The
UK.
UK.
The ants.
I do
The
not
Lord
want
of
to
the
get stuck out
Rings.
here. We gotta find a campsite.
Took my love and I took it down. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay.
little jog.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think like even
Sean.
though
Look. I discovered a secret cat.
He's so
Coming!
even though like obviously a chocolate bar is not going to fill them up, like a burst of sugar
I hope
is
the
going to really
animals
help.
out
Probably
there-
feels
Walking
fucking great,
there.
yeah.
That's one big tree.
I came across a fallen tree.
I have the branches of it looking at me. Is this the place we used to love? Oh, I want to help you, Daniel. I want to help you.
Oh
No!
no!
Oh,
We fucked
no.
it. We're a terrible sibling.
No!
That's it. That's it. It's
Oh,
over.
man. You okay?
Oh. Like, you okay?
No.
Obviously not.
I don't like this place.
He's not doing
I want
great.
to stay here.
I know,
Oop.
Daniel.
Fucking emoji.
I'll
Hello.
leave you here alone. Promise.
Oh.
Sean.
I'm sorry, Daniel. I
I'm
meant to
tired.
help you.
Do we have to keep walking?
Having a cat when raccoons are
No.
around is not great because they'll fight each other. Oh
I'm
my
tired.
god.
Really?
Saf would
Plus the
not
sun's
fight a
going down.
raccoon. Arthur probably
We're
would
gonna
though.
find a camping spot for the night.
She
Is that cool with you?
mentally has the mindset to fight a raccoon, but not the physical capability.
Yeah, no.
Arthur, who's
Has
Charlotte's other cat,
Not got the brain power,
has
but
not got
the,
the brain. Yeah,
yeah, but has the physical
has the
capability.
physical build because he's a super
Oh,
beefy cat.
Daniel, you good? Daniel, oh, thank God. Oh my God.
I like the way they disguise the map transition
walking for
scene of
so
climbing
long.
over the tree trunk.
Yeah.
I love
More-
game design.
From Seattle.
But yeah, Sean just said in his inner monologue that he'd be a shit father. He
You've been a
wouldn't.
dad for 2 seconds. Sean.
Yeah, Sean, calm down. It's
You're
okay.
16 and
Yeah.
you've just been forcibly made a dad.
Yeah, like you didn't. You're
I wish I
okay.
was big like you. I could do a lot more.
Can I not say anything to that?
No, apparently not. You just let him be sad.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Raccoon versus cat.
I'm just gonna let him sit in his feelings for a bit.
How do people hate Daniel? Because people are awful and they hate children and they hate brown people for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even like. Right. My feelings towards children are complicated, but
Right.
that's because gender. I feel like if I am perceived to be enjoying being around children, often people in my life will go, "Oh my God, you'd be such a good mom," and I don't
Yeah.
want to be a mom. Like, I very much do not want to be a parent.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference though between people who like don't want children and then we live in a society where, especially if you're like a cis woman or like perceived to be a cis woman, that people put that pressure on you.
Yeah. But I feel
But
bad
there's a difference
about
between
it.
that, because what you're describing, which is normal,
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
and people who just like hate children.
Yeah.
Like, why? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You hear that?
I also think, like, I can
Is that a
understand
bird's nest?
Oh
not
yeah. They're everywhere.
being a
out here.
parent /
At
not
least
really
they have a
having a
home.
child in your life
Come
and
on.
getting, like, when you
We're
live
too
your
big for
life, like,
this.
getting overstimulated by being near a child who's, like, screaming or whatever. But again, you do not hate children as a result of that. You shouldn't hate children as a result of that. You just simply don't want to be around them right that second. You know, it's such a different, like, taking that and going, I hate kids is such a different fucked up thing to do. Okay, I'm gonna
This
help.
is
Yeah, it's
pretty high
totally
up.
fucked up.
Sean,
Yeah, I know we
Come
can
on.
help them.
I got you.
We're redeeming ourselves. It's
Yeah.
okay. We're not a bad father.
Thanks.
again, older sibling trauma.
Yeah, there's a lot that's just really messed up about hating kids. I feel
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I
It's
personally do want to have kids,
You see that? Looks like a clicker.
and I really like kids.
Creepy.
it's referencing the game we're trying not to reference. What do we do?
Stop it.
We do not acknowledge
We move on.
the game.
The game that shall not be
The
mentioned.
game that shall not be named. Yeah, I do really want kids, and I like kids,
Sean,
but I actually
it's
like
getting really dark.
get kind
I
of
know.
nervous around kids that I don't know how to behave around.
Better hurry up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not because I don't like them, but because I don't have a lot of experience with it.
Yeah, like you're the younger sibling, like that makes sense.
I think part of it is just that, like, there is part of it where we, like, act like children need to be treated in a specific way that's vastly different from how we treat adults, which I don't think is actually true.
No, for sure.
But I think that I just get in my head about it. But I really like kids.
Yeah, I think as well it's like also guided a lot by the parents they're with as well. Like if you started
Yeah.
like treating a child in a way that a parent would not like be okay with,
Then
obviously it's
problem.
gonna get awkward very quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but to be honest, yeah, like Meg's still saying like I'm not big on children, but Daniel's literally acting like a child. He holds up better than me because I'd have a breakdown in the situation. Yeah, like even not as an adult, as a nearly 30-year-old woman, I would have had at least 3 breakdowns by this point. So especially if I didn't know what was going on. So I feel like yeah, Daniel
is literally
great.
just acting like a child. And like the thing is, like, I don't know. Yeah, when people hate children, they're literally just like describing children acting like children.
You
Yeah,
struck out.
yeah,
And it's like,
That
you were a
did not
child
scare me.
once. Like, would you have wanted someone to treat you like this?
yeah, absolutely.
That was surprise.
He's just been through it, okay, Daniel? Like,
I got you, I eat you. Don't mess with the zombie.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really thought about this before, but you can understand why, like, a jump scare would really, like,
yeah.
shake him up.
Especially after seeing, he doesn't actually, I guess, really process what Daniel did, but, like,
No way they're putting
to
us
a
in
point
foster
he
care.
must have realised,
So, yeah.
like, subconsciously been like, that
Something.
was Daniel did something that was,
Yeah, 'cause
I
he
can't
screams
comprehend.
and then, yeah.
Yeah. And so there is a part of him that is like, that's scary, you know? And yeah, like the last thing you want is a jump scare when you've just been traumatized.
Yeah, for real.
Ooh,
I mean, generally, I
Looks
fucking
like a
hate jump
cave.
scares, but
Yeah, me too.
kind of spooky.
No. Actually, it's kind of perfect.
For what?
For us, man.
We're gonna stay in there? I don't know.
Come on, Daniel. Look, this could be our secret base.
I bet we could stop any orcs from capturing us in here.
Cool.
I think I went with the
In that case,
Minecraft
we
analogy
definitely need to
last
get a
time,
fire
so
going first,
that's why I
right?
went with Lord of the Rings. I was like, sure,
Yes!
let's shake it up.
What does he say when you go with the Minecraft analogy?
Something like, I think he starts building forts and stuff,
Okay,
or like, you
yeah.
know, like creepers that are coming to attack or something like
I
that.
don't really know anything about Minecraft, so...
I know what Chris and my brother have played, vaguely looking over their shoulders and going, that is a Minecraft. I have, I say that, I've played Minecraft, but just like on peaceful mode, which is not really playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
But it's very nice on peaceful mode. I'd highly recommend it. It's great. You'd just be building and like... We did have a great Minecraft discussion the other night. What was that discussion? I can't remember it now. Or is it something where I said something stupid? That's probably what happened. But yeah. Yeah, that's my...
I think I would lean into, like, role-playing with him.
The protect the base.
Yeah.
I need you to build a fort to keep
Yes,
out the
and?
orcs,
We watched a whole
Trolls.
playlist about it. We did, didn't we?
everything.
Playlist.
And I'll take care of finding the wood. Deal?
I don't remember
Yes!
now.
I can build traps too.
It was the other night.
Nothing will
I
get
don't
to us.
remember.
Awesome, dude.
I know.
Do you mean the one where it's the guy who makes that video where it's like him taking over the Minecraft land. I don't remember. There's something about Sean trying to make this fun to distract Daniel.
Let's unpack.
Yeah.
Baby boy.
Finally.
Both of
Well,
them
I
are
guess
baby
because
boy.
again, he's like not just navigating his own trauma, but he's trying to like now he's thrust into the role of a father figure, and he's trying to help like Daniel as a child cope with the situation. And obviously, like a big way of how children cope with situations is to like play. You know, but that being said, I wonder like if it helps Sean as well.
Yeah,
because
100%.
And I do think that like without spoiling it for people who haven't played before like too much, by episode 4 in particular, I think you see how much Sean needs Daniel.
Yeah, 100%.
As much as the other way around, because like I think that the motivation of protecting Daniel
Our base is gonna be awesome.
is what keeps him going.
And then also like I don't know, being able to like play with Daniel and like have someone to share the experience and trauma with and everything is also like it. You can see the way that it becomes like the lifeline for him.
Let's see.
As well.
Yeah.
Here's a good spot.
And I think as well with like I know that teenagers don't really play in ways that we necessarily recognize a lot of the time, but like teenagers play as well. Like they still are, you know, navigating and like play acting, and even just him like rehearsing like how he talked to Jen in the mirror. That's play. Like that is a form of play, and like I think he is still having fun doing that with Daniel as well. Like that is still fulfilling a need that he has. I mean, honestly, adults need to play as well. That's why we play video games, right? Like, but you know.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that like as human beings, we have a need for play. You know, because we're curious and like playful by nature. I think.
Yeah.
As humans, and I think that like the only reason why that's like really an extreme in children is because they're obviously experiencing the world for the first time. And you learn about the world through curiosity and play and exploration, but also, like, I think that the society that we live in really suppresses that in adults.
Absolutely.
Like, when you're a child, there's an extent to which, like, the world that we live in is, like, creates space for play. Although I will say that that's only true in like the specific context of like the global north, because that isn't true for children who are like mining cobalt in the Congo or living under occupation in Gaza.
Yeah.
Like they don't get that. But like as in within the global north societies, like as we and you know, if we have like access like to like privileges like housing and education and things like this, which again not everyone in global north societies even has actually, like those instincts for like play and exploration and curiosity are really like suppressed, and we're kind of shoved into this box of you know being formed into laborers for capital.
We'll get through this.
It makes me think of that video, and it's I think it was taken in one of the hospitals that has now been bombed in Gaza. So I don't know if any of those children is surviving. But there was like a bomb crater pit that they were all like they were like skiing, like not skiing, sliding down into the bomb pit and like playing with that, and like just sorry, that's a lot, but just like the fact that they have probably lost like their families and like everything familiar, and they are finding ways to cope through play, and they are engaging with each other and finding this fun game in a fucking bomb like indent, you know, like it's all that instinct is always going to be there. I went to a really interesting exhibition a few years ago about play at the Welcome Collection in London,
This
and that's
isn't
like
too bad.
a science. So it's like a kind of science and art museum. And I think Michael Rosen had a lot to do with like the actual exhibition. Like he had a lot of like creative control in it, and it was so interesting and so good. And there was also like this really great. So it's a free exhibition, and there was also this like huge play space within the like, you know, the actual exhibition, which is obviously so rarely like children's needs are so rarely considered in like
That's true.
an exhibition environment.
That's true.
In fact, I have like a specific memory of going to a yeah, it's called Life is Beautiful. I've seen that one. It's the Italian one, isn't it? Sorry, what was I saying? Where was I going? In this house we do stand Michael Rosen. So it's I have a specific memory of going to an exhibition as a kid, and like me and my brother were like running through this like kind of tunnel thing that we weren't supposed to interact with as art. We were supposed to interact with it as art, not as play.
Yeah.
But like interacting with art is play.
Yeah.
And like my parents were like apologizing profusely, and actually one of the like people at the gallery were like, no, it's fine, like they're engaging with the art. And that was what this exhibition was about. There was also this really great thing where they put these like 10 to 12-year-old boys in like a big room with loads of like kind of arranged sculptures that basically look like kind of kids' toys, but like arranged on each other, like big wooden blocks and stuff. And it does this video, and it's like a good 10-15 minutes of like the boys realizing that they could just destroy as in they were a lot of like boys of color as well, like it wasn't just white boys being like, yes, I can destroy this, but like as in play with it and like have fun with it. And like there was like a ball that they started playing football with, and like it just descended into chaos, but it was like so interesting, like seeing them realize they were allowed to do that. It just but I think that's it was a great exhibition. It's a shame it is no longer an exhibition, but it was really great.
That does sound great.
Yo,
it's very cool.
What are you doing?
Trying to
I
move
think
this branch to protect the base.
it makes me
Good
think
call.
that
Here, let me take this side.
art
got it?
culture is
We'll
so
see.
strange in the way
Go ahead
that
and
it like has a
push.
certain respectability politics about it, and it
You
creates
have to engage with it in a certain way. Yeah.
A lot of game studies material like explores the idea of like queering games through like things like modding and stuff like that, because it's like you're
Damn right.
going outside of the
Nice
bounds
work,
of like
Daniel.
what the game dictates
Cool.
for you,
I'll
and
go
like
check the river.
playing
Yeah.
with that. I've heard of Life is Beautiful and actually never watched it. But I might put that in the top of my list.
Yeah, I watched it. I also watched it at school. It was when I was doing my GCSEs. It's like one of those films where I don't think about the impact it's had on me, and then I reference it. Like I was referencing it because basically the dad in it calls his wife Principessa, which means princess in Italian, and I was calling Saf like Principessa the other day because I was doing it in the way that he does, and I was like, I have not thought about that film in years, and like I just kept going Principessa. She is a Principessa.
She is.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, I think our teacher did not present it to us well. She was like, oh yeah, it's this really lovely film. It's not. I mean, it's about
the Holocaust.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a lot.
Do you want to sit and draw or play with him?
No, I don't.
Oh, I
the
could
choice
play
has
with
been
him.
made.
Shit.
Feels good to
No, I
focus on
accidentally
something after
pressed.
all
I
that
didn't
shit.
think.
I
Didn't
should
think I
take
had
a
another
good
option.
Look at the subject before
You might
drawing.
still be able to play with him. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
that's true. Yeah, I
Oh
forgot.
yeah, I forgot about
Moving
this.
so much.
Observe.
Cool. I think I'm ready to draw this.
If Dad was here, he'd catch
I mean, I
every
haven't seen it
fish.
since probably like 2009. GCSEs? Yeah, 2008, 2009. If you want to know my age, God. Wait, oh, I see.
Oh yeah. I Grow up.
I was like, why isn't he drawing?
Time to take the pen, dude.
Shoot, he... Oh. Sorry, Mr. Fish.
Dad gave me this sketchbook. He was so fucking awesome. Pretty good. But I can add more details if I want.
That.
Dad was here. Yeah, I remember something that I thought about this game a lot was that pretty much at every moment where Sean has like a moment of silence and peace, he thinks about his dad.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Which is
Don't
not
skip.
often.
No.
Collectible
I've looked
in
in
the
it.
tree.
Time to draw now.
Ooh.
Man, I can't even skip
This
a
almost looks like a peaceful memory. Almost.
Nice.
Sketchy.
Sketchy. Okay, that's in the tree.
Yeah. I think you'll get that you could. There are
Come
a few
on,
chances
Sean
to
Wise.
play with him.
We
So,
must explore.
Oh,
so even if you miss the fishing and stuff, like you can. I
I'm
think there'll be
digging
other-
the spot.
Ants.
yeah.
Careful.
I
Don't
love
wanna
the
wake
way
up
they
covered in
visually
ants
show the
tomorrow.
outlines
Behold my
to show
sword.
he's looking at it to draw. Yeah, it is cool.
On guard, Mr. Frodo.
Yeah,
But
there we go.
I'm fighting the tree, not you.
The light will purge you.
Ah. You're not fun, Sean.
Oh, he
No,
wanted you to
bigger than
fight the tree as his
Not fair.
ally.
I messed up.
It's okay.
I messed up playing. I played wrong.
This is how you feel when you play this game. Like every time you do something and it like upsets Daniel, you're like, well, I guess I'm a terrible person and a terrible sibling and a terrible father.
Yeah. And that's how Sean feels, so...
Yep.
Why did I drag Daniel in?
I don't
You're
think
safe,
I want to
little
see
bro.
the spider who made
Spiders hibernate in the fall.
it. Good. I remember when you pushed me into that web.
Hey, that was a long time ago. You got me back, right?
Yeah, well, you screamed when you saw that plastic spider.
Ooh,
Thank you for the follow. I'm just Naomi.
Ha ha.
thank you for joining.
Welcome to
At
the
least they
stream.
won't bug us tonight. Get it?
Hey.
No.
Technically, spiders aren't bugs.
It's also
Um,
like I think just on the level of like mechanics. Oh, thank you for
And
the follow.
Marshmallow Melmel.
Marshmallow Melmel. Like on the level of mechanics, I do gotta say like this probably would still say that this is the best Life is Strange game just based on the mechanics alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the interactivity is so much more complex than any of the other any of the other games, and I would say
Hey.
including True Colors.
Yeah, I could agree.
doing,
I
Sean?
100% agree with that.
Can I try?
I think that True
You've never
Colors
skipped stones?
doesn't have... Oh,
Oh, thank you so
subscribe
much
with
for subscribing
Prime!
with Prime.
That was a long time
ago.
Thank you,
Damn.
Marshmallow Melmel.
You get that
Okay.
Amazon money, and you give
Then
it to
show
us.
Also, yeah, I do really enjoy Gonzalo
Watch me.
Martin's voice acting as Sean.
Yeah,
Uh,
I really love...
Come on.
Like there's
That's a
like
boulder,
some
not a
clips
rock.
of them like interacting with actual
Yeah.
actors.
Yeah,
It's
flat
so
rock.
cute, good. I love
Hold
it
it
so
like this.
much.
Look at my hand. Boom.
I still can't
Okay.
skip stones, so
I did it.
Nope.
My turn.
Hold it with your thumb and finger. And spin your wrist when you throw.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I'm not giving up on him.
Almost.
Yeah.
What'd I do wrong?
Yeah, we're current, we're relevant, we're correct, we're brave.
Do I try
We're
again?
all of those things. Thank you for recognizing our
Let's
Not
power.
try
bad.
again.
Give it another try.
Oh yes, I think he'll fail a few times, and it's about teaching him to
Aw,
It's okay.
so
keep
close.
trying until
You
he
gotta
succeeds.
pull through.
Try again. You've almost got it.
Yeah, I do think there's something to be said for how like taking care of someone else and teaching someone else is also good for you.
Yeah, we're gonna take a snack break after the forest, Chris.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
good.
We're just gonna get to the end of this segment
You're
and then
getting
take
into
a
the zone.
snack break.
Don't give up now.
Thank you for showing concern about us, though. We appreciate it.
He
I
did
did it! Did you see?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
I also feel like
I think
the
you're ready for
segment
the
after
Olympic
the
stone
forest,
skipping
we're gonna
team.
have a lot more discourse.
Yeah, very true.
He thinks we're just going on a trip. I can't imagine when he'll find out what really happened.
Yeah, not you of all people telling someone else to
That
eat.
was
So true,
a
Chris.
good hiding spot.
But I am thankful for it, nonetheless.
I don't remember which tree the collectible is in, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We can
No,
live
I
without
want
it.
it. I want it.
You want it? Okay.
I want
think
it.
I think it might be the big
This would be
tree,
a
like the
cool
one with the
spot
big
for
trunk, like
relocations.
behind you.
Behind me.
Yeah, that one. That like it's
Oh,
got
it's-
kind of a bigger trunk. Is it in there?
Like here.
No. Behind you again. That
Oh,
one.
this one.
I think it's that one. And I think it's like up in the tree, and then, or maybe it's the other one, but it definitely has like a bigger trunk. I think.
Okay.
Like y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. By the way,
So
I vaguely remember it being
Haven't been
like up
hiking
in
since
a
that
tree.
took
Like it
us.
might be that one.
I feel like because that's not like somewhere you can easily access. No, it's got an invisible wall. When you said tree, I thought it meant it was in like a tree log. But
Oh, okay, yeah. True Colors was disappointing gameplay, characters, and story compared to its predecessor. If looked as a standalone, it's great, but compared to LA, it's too disappointing. I think that's fair. I did really like True Colors.
I liked a lot about it. I don't think it was a perfect game by any means, but I think, like, I really loved Alex as a protagonist. I think, like, so I have very strong feelings about the scene. Looking for the souvenirs, the skinniest tree near the river. Okay.
Sorry, I gave you bad advice.
No, it's literally fine. we're just vibing. It's all good. I think that the scene where Alex empathizes with Eleanor's dementia, or like early onset, or kind of early stages of dementia, I think was so brilliantly done. And I 100%, like, I don't know for sure, but I know in my heart that whoever, like, at least one of the devs had experienced like caring for a person with Alzheimer's or dementia. Like, it is so clear in every part of it. Like, just that alone, I think that game was worth it. Like, I'm like, that just that scenario, like being able to see what it's like for someone living with dementia on that level was so,
I hope that
I don't know,
animals
it just,
out here
it's so well done.
aren't hungry.
I can't say enough good things about it. I literally saw someone stream that scene and was like, I need to buy it.
I really have no idea which tree
I
I'm looking at.
yeah.
Sorry, we're stupid. You guys might be interested to know
Then
that
we'll
we
have a
have a
shit
video
video that goes
essay
far.
on True Colors.
Yeah.
So, it's always a good time to head to our YouTube channel and watch our video essays.
Always.
We have a 2-hour and 10-minute long video on Life is Strange True Colors.
As is correct.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, everyone. This must be so boring to watch.
Definitely a different approach to Don't Nod in comparison to 2. It does feel safe, but I appreciate what it was going for. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that 2...
Yeah.
I think saying that it feels safe compared to 2 makes a lot of sense. Especially in the... I would say that in the context of, the fact that Alex is a Chinese-American protagonist, I think that some of the ways that the game represents, her
How long can it
racialized
last out
experience is interesting, but there are certainly things from my perspective, I'm not Chinese-American, but I am, a person of color living in diaspora in the West, and there are things that I like would have wanted to be explored more or addressed more. And
Hope they had a better time than us.
so that's something that I would definitely say about True Colors. I think that when we've talked about it before, we've said that it kind of like it feels like there's so much good stuff in there, and that it kind of just felt like a bit like unfinished or a bit too short.
It just feels like it's rushed, and I think because that was the same time they were making the remastered
Shit.
Life is Strange,
Can't even
right?
take care of myself.
Yeah, I do think I think saying it feels a bit
Now I gotta
rushed
look after
is
Daniel.
fair as
Yeah.
well. There's a lot of really great stuff in there. I think that like with more time and care, it could have been like really next level amazing game.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
What's that?
Maybe. Yes.
That's too
Maybe
high
they
to
were
reach.
more cautious because of the criticism.
Can you see
Maybe. I mean, it's worth remembering
Hold
that
What is it?
True Colors was
It's your job to find
developed by
if
Deck
you
Nine
want.
Studios
Okay,
rather
hold
than
on.
by Don't Nod. So the team behind True
careful,
Colors was a
dude.
different team.
Come on.
yeah.
What do you see?
And Deck
Looks like
Nine
fishing
was
bait.
also behind
Let's take it.
Floor
Life is
Storm.
Strange
That's a
Before the
souvenir.
Storm. Yeah, so
And Tell Me Why?
We can hook it on your
no.
backpack.
No. Okay.
Tell Me Why
Nice.
was also Don't Nod, but a different team.
Oh, okay. I see. We did it. I found it.
Yay! We did it eventually.
Got there in the end.
I think they don't go as heavy into race since the gaming community got really angry and offended, and I think that that's cowardly.
Yeah.
Um,
The thing is, I think they could have had the potential, right, of you still get a little girly pop romance, but like exploring racism, like, and also, so it never sat right with me that Alex would willingly have stayed in Haven Springs.
Yeah.
And like, I very strongly believe that the right decision is to leave
Mm-hmm.
with Steph,
Mm-hmm.
but like definitely to leave because
With Steph specifically.
with
just
Steph
to be clear.
specifically. But even alone, like either way, not with Ryan. Fuck Ryan. But yeah, it just doesn't
1986?
work for me
Damn, that's ancient.
that she as a racialized woman feels comfortable in a small town with primarily white people.
Yeah,
right?
she's like a queer,
Yeah.
racialized woman.
Yeah,
Like,
like
I don't know, it wouldn't last that long. In
no,
my opinion.
for sure.
But
wonder He's such a little
the
guy.
mommy issues mental illness
He's
trans
damn
feels
strong.
game. So true. Also,
I need to play it again.
my Tell Me Why hot take, and I have literally no reason for believing this, is that Allison is a lesbian.
Yeah, I believe that.
I thank you
Yeah.
for your support
No,
in these
100%.
trying times.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's a
I-
fort.
I
Good
don't know.
work, little bro.
It's just what I believe.
Also, I feel like doesn't show any
too
interest
quiet.
in a man in a romantic sense.
Except in the abstract.
Does she even do that in the abstract?
I think so, but I don't. I need to play it again. It's been a while since
Yeah,
I
it's been a
played
while.
I also have a video on Tell Me Why. So it's always a good time to go
Don't
to our
even
YouTube
polish
channel and watch some of our video
We're gonna put it
essays.
together.
Not to bring them all up, but you know. Yeah, I think your Tell Me Why one was the first Game Assist video I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd watched a stream of it. I've never actually played it myself, because that's just how I engage with everything these days. I'd never actually played it myself, but
Check this
I
out,
had
Sean.
watched a stream of it, and I wanted takes TM on it.
Nice
Yeah.
view.
Yeah.
You
What
can
was it,
see
good
so
take?
It was.
far.
It definitely challenged me. Like, I was very much like, I want the siblings to stay together. But
Wait, I'm coming.
I was interested. She has an ex-boyfriend. Okay. I
She has an
mean,
ex-boyfriend.
that
but
doesn't mean she's not a
anything.
lesbian. I think it definitely was a different take than I would have had, but I found that obviously interesting.
Okay. I don't think
I-
we've talked about Tell Me Why before.
No, we haven't. Again, it's been a while since I watched it. I think,
It's
Tell Me Why really got me in the mommy issues, and that's why I made that video.
yeah, and that's so
You're
valid.
easy,
Exactly.
Like, it really got me in the mommy issues.
Not so bad.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
video is about, like, it focuses on Allison and Allison's character arc. But you know, check it out. Let me know what you think. I want to know what you guys think about what I have to say about it. If you watch it, comment.
Please.
Like, I'm being so serious. Like, I
Comment,
want
like,
to
and
talk about
subscribe.
Look at those clouds.
it. Comment, like, it's.
What do they
Do
look
it.
like to you?
Do it right now. Don't do it right now. We're watching this.
Cotton candy?
But yeah, no, that's true. We haven't
That's
ever
it?
talked about it. But, like, I definitely was more in favour of the siblings
What do you
staying
think?
together. But I think that the kind of... Your point about, like, it being, like, a thematic... And also, like... I think you said something around, like, her dynamic with her brother is not necessarily, like, in service to her a lot of the time. I think there's something like that.
Remember.
It's been a while. I mean, obviously, it was the first game of this video I've watched, and I don't think I've rewatched it, so...
I need
I
to
don't know.
rewatch it myself and remind myself what I said, because I don't.
A dragon.
What?
I can't remember.
I-
Where?
What do you
Okay.
make a decision about
There's the
siblings?
You...
Horns.
You improve their relation... Like, again, it's like this. You improve their interactions with each other.
I see
But
it.
I think your take was basically like, this is the ending that I think is the correct one. But like, as in Alison by herself in that house.
No,
Dragon.
I
No?
don't think I did. I didn't like that ending.
Did you not? Okay, yeah, because I didn't like it either. Or maybe you were just pointing, like saying, this is what I feel about that ending. Maybe.
Yeah.
There's a giant
Yeah.
douchebag.
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't
Where?
like. I don't dislike that ending in the sense that I think it's bad writing.
Hmm.
I dislike
Right here,
that
huh?
ending in the sense that I don't like getting it because I find it emotionally dissatisfying.
Yeah.
To get, because it reinforces this idea that Alison is doomed to the same fate as her mother.
That was it, yeah.
Because the essay is about exploring this idea of like the mad woman and like
Yes.
Marianne Ronan as like a mad woman, and how Alison's arc has to do with like her fear that she will become like her mother, and like how that's politicized obviously because of like the idea of a mad woman is a very politicized
Yeah,
thing.
100%. But
Yeah.
also, like, obviously they have a narrative that they have chosen to, like, well, that they have believed throughout their teenage years, basically, or like their youth, of who their mother was, and then that is challenged, which is hard and complicated, and that's a lot to deal with, especially when they believed that she was trying to kill them, you know, like
Yeah.
that.
And you can understand why they would believe that, but then so much
Yeah.
of the game is about them like unlearning that narrative.
Yeah, and like that the reason she did what she did was not the reasons they thought, and also she did not do what they thought she was trying to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Including like send I can't remember the guy's name. The brother's name. Tyler?
Yeah.
Including like sending, they think that she was trying to send Tyler to a conversion therapy, but that was just because
But
that
that
was
wasn't her.
Yeah, that wasn't her. And yeah, like all of this stuff is really interesting. I find that so fascinating
great.
with like perceptions, but also like mythologizing, right? It's like that thing of like you are actively choosing the myth you believe.
Yeah, and tell me why like a big part of it is around this idea of like how memory is like partly what we choose to believe and choose to remember, and how we like narrativize our own lives to ourselves,
Yeah.
and like we narrativize who the people that we've lost were as well.
Yeah.
Alright, and I know.
I want to scroll back in the
We're killing
chat because there've
people.
been a lot of messages.
Yes, sorry. We
Time
No, it's
to
okay.
make fire.
It's kind of what I love about the game. It made me have to take breaks. It was very triggering to me as PFC, but the writing was amazing, and while I took breaks, it made me remember that, oh, Sean and Daniel didn't get to take breaks like I could. Yeah, I 100% feel that way. Like, there were points where I literally just had to straight up
You have a big mouth like me,
pause.
so come on.
Yeah, just like
Whoa.
cry. But yeah, they didn't get that
Do you?
option.
Don't blow it
And
out.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
100%.
I wanted to do it
I
like
dislike
a
the ending
movie.
for Alison's well-being. Yeah, which is why I was like, huh.
Oh, nice.
Um,
It's warming up.
because for some reason I've remembered it as you preferred that ending, but yeah, no, it was that you hate that ending, which makes sense because it sucks. But also it's just like, yeah, I feel like once it loads, I'm gonna pause because, yeah, we're gonna have our break in a minute.
And also, could we?
Scroll up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we
sorry.
need to?
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Okay. Yeah, let's scroll back.
Sorry.
Free Palestine.
Absolutely.
She has an ex-boyfriend, but that doesn't mean anything. True. Correct.
Very true.
The endings in True Colors is anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Alex and Max both get downtime in a way Daniel and Sean don't. So true.
I think that's like really stark.
Yeah.
And feels
like
very
getting
intentional.
that time to reflect is. Oh, hello. She's on the move.
The LIS2 essay was the first game this video I watched. I left an emotional comment on it.
Come on. No. Let me pick you up.
Saf has feelings.
There we go. We did it, chat.
She's so grumpy
mad
about it. And it hit the nail on the head with the American immigrant of color experience. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you so much. Again, it makes me really happy that it made people feel like affirmed. Jonathan Morali did such a good job on the LAS2 soundtrack. He did indeed. Sometimes I listen to some of these tracks and cry.
Real.
We were talking earlier about how this game feels very tense and like there's rarely time to breathe. Yeah, for sure.
Taking breaks, disliking the ending for Alison's well-being.
And then
shut things out. This can't. It takes away people treat Tyler and Delos Crossing too. Yeah, 100%. Seeing trans people as inherently criminal and deviant. Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously it was like fascinating as like. I don't know if it's the first game to have a trans protagonist, but like it's definitely.
It's not like the first game to have a trans protagonist in the sense that there are like not a lot, but like a few indie projects.
Yeah,
made,
but I guess like a big,
like the scale of the project and things like that. And
100%.
A game of its kind for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, it's in the same way that I feel like Alex should not stay in Haven Springs. Like Tyler should be nowhere near Dallas Crossing. Like I don't know if it's also like I've only ever lived in cities or only ever wanted to live in cities, so I think my perception of small towns is generally very hesitant and kind of I don't think I would be happy in a small town. And
have
so
you ever lived in a small town?
No.
I have.
And I think I project that onto people a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, maybe, I would not.
Because I have, and I don't think that I felt... Like, I do agree with you, but I don't feel quite as strongly.
Okay,
because I've, like, lived in both. So this is an interesting comment from Sparks V on that issue. I think this shows True Colors is as good a game as the other LIS games. You felt so strongly about that choice leaving because it felt like the only correct one, but for my playthrough, staying worked thematically as Alex stopped running away from her problems and helping others in the town to be better people and settle down with stuff. And honestly, I get that. And I think that makes sense.
I think thematically I completely understand why someone would disagree with me. I think from my personal perception, I felt like if Alex stayed, she's being like limited in a way that to me it felt like she was still in like that home that she was in that felt like a prison.
Yeah.
That's how it felt to me because... And also, like, as you said, like, helping others in the town be better people. Like, she deserved to live outside of the emotional service she was doing for other people. And I don't know how she felt about her power after the ending of the game, obviously. But, like, I mean, also, I feel like being in the place where her brother died and like it was covered up like institutionally, I'm like, I just don't think that would ever be a place she could heal, I guess.
As a POC that grew up in a small town, which is my experience also, by the way, like I've lived in a small town in the UK, I've lived in a small town in Canada, and I've lived in a city in the UK, so I've had like a few experiences, and like I think that there are positives and negatives to both. There's a reason why I've chosen to continue to live in a city, but sometimes I think that I would like to live outside of the city but close to the city.
That makes sense.
To have the best of both worlds. It's Haven Springs is definitely idyllic compared
It's
to other small towns. I will say that.
Beautiful. Like it's like, oh, I'd totally go on holiday there. Like
And
I'd totally visit 100%. But like, I think because it is so specifically isolated by mountains as well, and like, obviously we've talked a bit before, like just us two, about like the queer community and like wavelengths and like that kind of aspect of like feeling really isolated from a queer community specifically. I think if I was in a small town where I knew I had a guarantee that like there was queer community in that way, like if I lived on a commune in the middle of nowhere, I'd be fine. But like that's what I'm saying. But you can't control who's in a small town, you know. And often it's people with certain prejudices, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And the last point to address is just, yes, that stuff in episode 4 with like the Chad and Michael, I think his name is, and like them harassing Sean that was so heavy. I also did need to like pause the game. I was like, this is
I think that's going to be heavy. A hard thing to stream. I think we also have talked off stream about like how I initially differed to you on what I picked, and again it was out of that feeling of like, if I do the right thing then it might be okay, which again, as we've discussed, is not, I mean, it wasn't the right thing, but as in if I do the lawful thing, I guess, or the thing that is the path of least resistance in theory, then I could handle it. I could handle the pain of it. So we'll obviously get there in terms of like the actual discourse, but like my experience is often not to prioritize my own actual well-being, like my mental well-being. It's to prioritize my physical safety, which again is for reasons we kind of discussed of like, it'll be horrible to try and engage with the police and blah 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 blah, but like ultimately I feel like I'll be okay. Whereas that's also like not self-preservation in terms of like a mental health perspective, right?
Yeah, I do have some thoughts that I want to discuss when we get to that, for sure.
Definitely. And I think, we'll have the discussion when it happens, because I don't want to like talk about it before we get there.